Hey everybody, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. We're super excited to introduce you to this rotating curriculum and how it works at our facility. So what we've done is we've broken it down into some frequently asked questions. We know there are going to be lots of questions about how this works, and that's just fine. Feel free to email, text, call. Also check the description of this video for more videos on the testing and exactly how that works, and possibly more videos in the future. All right? So Miss Jamie's going to ask the questions. I'm going to do my best to answer them. We'll see how this goes.
Alrighty, okay. Should be an easy one. Number one, what is a rotating curriculum and how is it different from our old curriculum?
Okay, so our old curriculum is what we call a linear curriculum. This curriculum is uses a spiral method of learning, and it implements smaller sections of material at a time to make it easier for people to retain that information and learn well. So I actually have a really cool little diagram that's going to help us with the next question. Dun, ta-da, there it is, and we may put this up on the screen where you guys can see it a little bit better.
We will give you this visual so you guys can look at this too.
All right, excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and take that from you.
Okay.
You should go ahead and ask me the next question. All right, so now that we have this up here, let's talk about question number 2.
Okay, so how many levels and how many smaller sections are there in the rotating curriculum?
All right, so we have 3 levels, and each level has a different number of sections. So for our beginner level, we actually have 6 sections. I know it looks like 12 here, but that's because they repeat. And in our intermediate, we have 12 sections. And in our advanced level, we have 12 sections as well.
Okay, and then how long does each section take?
Okay, despite what it looks like on the picture, not each section takes more time. So what we're going to be doing is 6 weeks per section. So this section, B2 right here, is 6 weeks, or B5, whichever direction that is. I'm looking at it through the back of the paper here. So B2 or B5, whatever it is, then I11, and then A11. Each of those has 6 weeks to complete.
Okay, so the next question is, why is it a better format?
All right, so there's 3 main reasons why it's a better format. Number 1 is that there's less material at a time being thrown at the students, and so they are getting better retention, better skill retention. The second reason is that it allows our instructors to spend more time working on individual techniques with individual students specifically, so that those students get enough of the instructor's time, and we're not jumping around trying to teach 30 different techniques at a time. The third reason is that it allows more repetition so that we have higher quality movement with each skill.
Okay, wonderful. So if there's less material, as you referenced in reason 1, then whether there was 30 some skills before, how many are there going to be now in each section?
Depending on the section, you're looking at between 6 and 8. Some of those have sparring segments, some of those have forms or poem-say segments, so those will take up 2 of those, what we call 8 slots.
Okay, great. Alrighty, so then how long between each testing cycle?
Okay, so each of these segments is 6 weeks. So when you finish section B1, you will test. So it's every 6 weeks between testing cycles.
Okay, so every 6 weeks there's an opportunity to advance.
That's correct.
All right, and now here comes big question. How will this change belt testing? What does belt testing look like?
Okay, so essentially our belt colors are staying the same. Okay, we're here in our beginner segment, you're going to have your white, yellow, and orange. Then when you get your purple, you're going to move out of this segment into our intermediate. Then you're going to go through purple, green, and blue out here. When you get your red at the end of your intermediate segment, you're going to move out to your advanced segment, which is going to be your red-blacks, your black-red, and then eventually your black will be your final belt that you get as you come out of this segment.
Okay.
And into our super advanced segment, I guess.
Super advanced.
You start moving up into your multiple Dan ranks. So each of those is going to have stripes associated with it. So if you start here in B1, you're going to get a stripe. When you finish B1, you go to B2. And then when you finish B2, you'll get a belt. Okay? For our intermediate segments, you're going to go, say you start in I1, that would be ideal. Ideal.
that'd
Get the
be
joke? All right, sorry.
Oh.
Now,
Oh.
so you're going to go from I1 here, you're going to get a stripe, 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 and then a belt. Okay, so there's 3 stripes per belt.
Okay. So when you had the fourth one.
And the
And
same
then-
applies for the advanced.
Right, so you will earn your stripe belt.
That's correct.
Okay, perfect. So then there are 2 different colors of stripes that you could earn on your belt. So as you're working your way, let's say you're an intermediate and you're going in I1 and you have passed your first 6 weeks. What color of stripe would I get on my belt?
You would get a black stripe.
Okay, and what is the black?
So the black
Okay.
stripe is like your stair step to your belt graduation. Okay, so your black stripe says, hey, I've completed this 6 weeks of material. I'm ready to move on to the next 6 weeks.
Perfect. Okay, so say now I've gone 6 weeks, got black stripe, 6 weeks, got my black stripe, 6 weeks, got my third black stripe, and now I've finally made it. What stripe color am I going to get then?
Okay, so then you're going to be getting a red stripe.
And what does that red stripe mean?
The red stripe tells you that you're able to go ahead and do a full belt color graduation. So if you're a red belt, you're going to be graduating up to red black, okay? And that means that you'll come in on a Saturday and you'll do a complete test.
Okay, so I will test the first half at the beginning of the week,
That's correct.
and then on that same week, that Saturday of the same week, I will come in and I will finish my test, correct?
Yes, so you'll do your in-class testing at the beginning of the 6th week, and that'll include that. We'll just go over the 6 or 8 things or whatever it is that we're working on for that series, and then if you get your red stripe, you'll be scheduled for a test on Saturday. During that Saturday test, are we to that question yet, or am I jumping ahead?
No, that's good. Because I wanted to ask about what the testing requirements are. Why am I coming on Saturday? If
Okay.
I've already done it in class.
So on Saturday, what we're going to do is we're going to go through a demonstration of the material that we've been working on for the past 6 weeks. And then we're also going to have you break your board. Depending on what cycle we've been going through, we may include some stress inoculation. Then you will do your endurance training, because fitness is still a huge part of what we do. We want to make sure that people are getting that good fitness, and so you'll do your endurance testing and you'll get your belt.
Perfect. Okay. So then I'm guessing the belt testing is going to be a little shorter then, huh?
That is correct. Belt testing will be much shorter than it has been in previous years, excluding the black belt test.
Of course. And then, as referenced before, we're going to have a whole separate video about belt testing. So more
Yes,
details
so
to
check
come.
the description below if you want to watch that video, but finish this one first.
Yes. Okay. How do I know what is required to earn the next belt or the stripe under this curriculum?
So you're going to have access to information that's going to give you a list for each section that we're working on. So if we're in section I-10 here, okay, if you're an intermediate student, you're in section I-10, you're going to have a list of exactly what we're working on during that session. Not only that, but there's going to be videos out that'll be released for that section so that you can go and find those videos and watch exactly what you need so that you can practice at home.
And those videos are located on our website under the Student Access tab, and you'll be able to go and click on just what you need. So,
Exactly.
as long as you've got the password. So, is there an attendance requirement to be eligible to test?
Yes. So since we're requiring less material at a time, we're going to be requiring a higher quality of performance of that material.
Okay.
That means that you're going to want a lot of time with instructors able to give you feedback as you're practicing that material. So we do have attendance requirements in order to be able to test.
So, in a 6-week section, there is usually 12 opportunities to be in class getting the teaching. But we're only doing a minimum of 6 classes attended to be eligible to earn your next stripe or your next belt. And then, I mean, we always have exceptions, right?
Yes.
We always have people that ask. So we built that in. If you are out sick, if you have a scheduled vacation or something like that that happens during that, you can still be eligible as long as you schedule a private lesson and do that. And then we just take that on a case-by-case basis. You contact us, ask us to set that up, and we'll make sure that you've gotten all your time needed to learn the material.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right, one last question. If I miss a curriculum section, do I have to wait to get back around to that specific section to get my next belt?
No, you do not. So say you are a beginner and you're over here, you've finished B1 and B2 and B3, but oh man, you're on vacation during the summer for B4, okay? That's okay. Or maybe you're out sick, you get COVID or something, okay? And you're out sick and you miss that section B4. The great thing about this method is that it is a spiral method. So if you miss that section, it's okay. We're going to come back and cycle it around and you're going to get it again on a more advanced level in the intermediate segments, but we'll take time to remediate that for you. That being said, if you miss several sections, it is going to take you longer, just like it does now. If you miss tests, it takes you a little bit longer to progress. You may end up recovering some material that you did before, but it'll only make you better.
But if I missed section B4 and I was about to get my belt, well, then I just go through section B5 or B6 whenever I am able to come back, successfully complete that section, and I'll get my belt. Right?
Absolutely. You know, Miss Jamie, as we're doing this, I thought of one more question that people are going to have. It's really, really important. We've labeled these with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I don't want anybody to think that because you didn't get to start, in
Section
March, section 1, oh no, I didn't start with the right material. That's not the way this works.
Right.
You can start in any one of these segments as a beginner. When you move up to intermediate, you can start in any one of these segments. When you move up to advanced, the same thing applies.
Right. You just pick up right there. That's what's so awesome about this format.
It makes it really fluid and allows everybody to train together and get lots of good repetition.
Awesome. Okay, those were all my questions.
Excellent. Okay, guys, I hope that answered most of your questions. I know you probably have tons more. Feel free to message us or email us, whatever you can do to get in hold of us, and we'll do our best to answer your questions as quickly as possible. And if you think of something that we missed, let us know down in the comments, and we'll do our best to answer it there. All right, guys. Thanks for watching the whole video. We'll see you guys in the next one.